May I request you to deliver a speech in French here, Lily? Everyone in the office was taken aback by our director's unreasonable request. Why on earth does she need to deliver a speech in French right here? Who can perform such a miraculous job without any preparation? Clearly, it was a jab at my colleague, Lily. Her face turned pale, and she was on the verge of tears. I stepped forward to shield her. If I speak French, what will you do for me, huh? Fine, if you pull it off, I'll give up my position to you. But if you fail, I'll demote you alongside Lily. Once I accepted the challenge, I began my speech. The director was astonished by me and muttered, "That cannot be. How come someone like you?" "Because no one knows my real identity yet. I'm Thomas. I've just returned to the headquarters after a decade abroad. I intended to come back earlier, but my plan didn't go through as expected for some reason. Throughout my time abroad, I couldn't stop thinking about one woman. Her name is Lily. It's been 3 years since I last saw her, and I felt anxious all the way to the office. It was 10 years ago when I was assigned to the Europe office. On the day I left for abroad, Lily came to the airport to say goodbye and wish me luck. I confessed that I had romantic feelings for her and promised to nurture our relationship once I returned. Lily, with a shy smile, agreed. While I was working away from home, Lily and I constantly communicated through emails, sharing our lives, joys, and frustrations. I would eagerly return to spend cherished moments with Lily in the States. When I explained to Lily the reasons why I couldn't return to the States, no matter how much I wished due to business commitments from the Europe branch in the headquarters, she showed her unwavering support for me, saying, "I'm fine, so keep up the good work." Despite the distance lying between us, we maintained a strong relationship. However, things changed dramatically a year ago. Lily abruptly stopped sending messages. I was no longer surprised if I didn't receive a reply from her for several days, so I assumed that she was occupied with her work. There were times when she wouldn't bother to reply to my emails, but no matter how long I waited, there was no reply from Lily at all. I sent numerous messages out of concern, but received no replies. Her phone number wouldn't be reached either. I wondered what was happening with Lily. I directly negotiated with the president for permission to return to the headquarters. Initially, he obviously didn't want to grant my request to return to the headquarters, but he eventually approved it. I believe he considered the various achievements I had established during my 10 years of service. And so, after 10 years, I returned to the headquarters. A decade had passed, and the headquarters had moved into a different new building. Being abroad, I hadn't fully realized just how much the company had grown into such a significant enterprise. Witnessing the growth firsthand, I felt my 10 years weren't wasted. I entered the shiny new office and began greeting the head office supervisors. Since I returned to the headquarters due to my persistent request, and the office didn't have enough time to properly arrange my position prior to my arrival, I temporarily assumed the role of a rank-and-file employee. Thus, greeting my superiors was crucial for smoothly moving forward in my work. One thing I noticed while making my rounds was how the faces of the management had completely changed. It had been 10 years since I went abroad, so naturally, changes were expected. Some of the managers from that time might have been assigned abroad like me. I guess the company has been expanding into African markets and gaining profits from those ventures. While greeting the managers, I was searching for Lily at the same time. I had heard from HR that Lily was still with the company. Since my position wasn't finalized yet, they placed me in the department where Lily belonged for the time being, so she had to be somewhere in this new office. As I was finishing my rounds to most of the managers, I finally spotted a woman who I thought might be Lily. I looked at her, though I couldn't be sure it was Lily. She looked so different from the last time I met her, much thinner, almost like a different person. As I stood there in shock, she turned towards me. As our eyes locked onto each other, despite the shock, I managed to ask, "Lily, is that you?" Her hair was barely combed, tied back. She seemed not to wear makeup, with dark circles under her eyes. Now wearing glasses instead of contact lenses, her nails were long as if they hadn't been trimmed in a while, and her fingertips were rough and frayed. How had the once lovely Lily changed so much? 3 years ago, when we last met, Lily had been cute and stylish for our date. Why had she changed so drastically? Perhaps my shock was evident because Lily's face turned pale. At that moment, I regretted showing such a reaction, even though it was impulsive. Lily spoke with a strained voice, saying, I'm sorry. With that, she turned to flee. I hurriedly grabbed her hand and exclaimed, Wait, Lily. When I grabbed her hand, Lily stopped in her tracks. When I held her hand, it was shockingly thin, making me wonder if she'd been eating properly at all. I didn't know what had happened to Lily. When I grabbed her hand, she stopped in her tracks. She spoke in a faint, frail voice. I'm sorry I disappointed you. Didn't you expect me to look like this? No, not exactly. What happened? You haven't contacted me for a year. I'm sorry I caused you trouble. It's all right. Talk to me. I'm on your side, Lily. I spoke firmly, and Lily hesitantly looked up. She finally looked into my eyes. As I looked directly at Lily, tears welled up in her eyes filled with anxiety. Are you a rookie starting to work in this department today? Just then, a domineering voice addressed us. I could tell Lily was trembling upon hearing it. It was clear she was frightened of whoever spoke. Turning towards the source of the voice, I tried to identify the person. A woman, visibly haughty with heavy makeup and a strong perfume scent, approached. You are? Oh, you're going to work here without even knowing my name? Geez, I'm May, the next president of the company. She's the department head, Lily informed me in a weak voice. I found out later that her name is May. She's the daughter of the company's president, and it seems already decided that she'll take over the company. She wasn't around 10 years ago. Apparently, she transferred here a year ago and has been the department head since then. The timing of May's transfer coincides with when we lost contact with Lily. Could it be May who drove Lily to the point where she didn't even have the energy to communicate? Nice to meet you. I'm Thomas, and I'll be under your care at the headquarters from today. Pleasure to meet you. After my harmless greeting, May inquired, then a few questions. What's your career history? About 10 years at a branch office. Your education? That's when May asked about my education. I hesitated. There was a reason I didn't like to talk about my education. Can't say anything. Is there something embarrassing? Oh wait, you don't have a degree, do you? It's incorrect. Then why can't you answer? There are reasons I can't say. If you really want to know, go through HR and check my resume. That's fine. I'm not going to waste my time on it. You only have a high school degree or a Mickey Mouse degree anyway, May said with a smirk. Lily appeared as if she wanted to say something but seemed to frighten, her body shrinking, unable to make a sound. After comparing both me and a frightened Lily, May added, well, you two incompetents might as well get along, before turning her back and playing with her hair as she left. After May left, I asked Lily, you okay? Ah, thank you, she replied, seeming scared of May and trembling. Lily is serious about her work but is a timid woman. She likely finds it challenging to handle assertive women. I furrowed my brows and said in a troubled tone, she's pretty overbearing. I kind of don't like her. You shouldn't say that. Why? You don't like her either, right? I'm fine. I have to go back, excuse me. Why would she defend someone like that? May evidently has a dominant personality. Not everyone would be happy to work with her. I tried to show my empathy with Lily, but she returned to her office, and I don't understand why. Why would Lily say something like that? The reason probably lies in the situation of this department. I decided to observe while working throughout the day to understand what's happening here. To find out, I decided to spend the day working and observing the situation. On that day, I was handling the tasks I had been given. Since it's my first day, the workload wasn't too heavy. As the end of the day approached, employees started leaving. While others left, Lily was still at her desk working. Peeking over, I saw her desk cluttered with documents. With a somber expression and sighs, she edited documents on her monitor. Leaning over from behind, I peered at the monitor and asked, still got a lot left. Startled by my presence, Lily jolted and then turned around, answering in a flustered manner, Thomas. Lily hesitated on how to respond, her gaze wandering. Eventually, she answered, yes. I see. Are these documents something I can help with? I'll give you a hand. I haven't had much work today, so I've still got energy left. You look tired, Lily. Tell me what I can do to help. It's quitting time, Thomas. You can head home. I'm fine. You know I'm good at this sort of thing. I grabbed a nearby laptop, brought it over to the next table, then started looking through the pile of documents on Lily's desk. Lily looked flustered as I started going through the papers, but she was too tired to protest and soon started showing me what needed to be done. Could you read through these documents and correct errors in French? Got it. Let's see. Wow, what is this? I can't even read it. I skimmed through, but the awkward phrasing made me frown. It was hard to even understand what the author was trying to say. Lily, you're good at Japanese. That's why I've been tasked with reviewing these documents. I wish that were the case. I said it to cheer her up, but the reality was likely different. She was probably saddled with a workload that would never be completed by quitting time. Lily, drop the formalities, please. Oh, but... And why so formal all of a sudden? I've been worried since you stopped contacting me. Are you upset with me for not contacting you? Yeah, I am. At that, Lily looked like she'd seen the end of the world. That's right, someone like me. No, I'm mad because you're going through all this, and you didn't say a word to me. Lily looked startled. So you mean I was nothing for you? Nope, Thomas, I didn't want to bother you because you're far from home, and I didn't want to add any burden with my own problems. Finally, you stopped being so formal. I laughed, and Lily covered her mouth, embarrassed. Lily, you remember the promise? I know I've kept you waiting for 10 years. I remember. I was too eager. Even though we weren't officially together, I acted like your boyfriend just based on our emails. Funny, right? That's why it took me so long to come back. That's not true. I've always been thinking of you, Thomas, and I was so happy with your emails. Do you still love me after all this time? Yes, I do. I've always loved you, Thomas, so don't say things like that. Then from now on, count on me. Lily's eyes widened. Really? Of course, you've been through so much. Let me protect you from now on. Besides, I owe you more than I can ever repay. Tears started to form in Lily's eyes. I thought you were no longer interested in me. According to her, she thought I'd be disappointed seeing her in such a haggard state after I returned to our homeland. Honestly, I couldn't deny I was shocked by her appearance, and I acted weird, resulting in her feeling bad. Since I learned you'll be back, I wished for a total makeover, but I've been so swamped with overloaded work that I just didn't have the energy. I'm sorry. It's my mistake. I wiped away the tears from Lily's eyes. Can I fulfill my long overdue promise to you now? I hope it's not too late. I asked Lily, looking directly into her eyes. Hearing my words, Lily gazed back at me. Will you go out with me? Sure, Lily smiled through her tears. According to HR, I'll be working in the same department as Lily for a while. Regarding my position, they said they need some more time to finalize it, so I'll keep an eye on Lily from within the department. One day, as I observed the working environment around Lily, I witnessed May dumping more work on her. Lily, can you handle this for me? Lily looked uncertain. She probably didn't have the capacity to take on more work. If she accepted, she'd end up working late again. Seeing Lily in trouble, I approached the two and said, Lily seems to be occupied with her tasks right now. I'll find someone else who's free to help. I told you I want Lily to do it. It would be more efficient to pass it to someone who's available. Humph, cheeky. Fine, do as you like. I thought I heard May click her tongue as she left. She probably just wanted to dump more work on Lily rather than actually distribute it. What a bossy person, thank you. It's no big deal. If you have more pending work, let me handle it. Didn't I tell you to count on me, right? Lily's smile made me feel at ease. I didn't mind working late as long as it meant seeing her happy. I started looking for someone to delegate the task given by May. As I did, quitting time approached us. I've been helping Lily with her pending tasks, but it seems May has assigned her a significant workload. I couldn't see the goal of this endeavor. However, we've both been working on it as a team. Today, I successfully declined additional tasks, so there's an end in sight. With diligent work within regular hours, we should meet the deadline in a few days. I thought I would put on my jacket and grab my business bag. Lily, let's go home. Wait a moment, I told Lily. Just as it was time to go, May approached us. I realized then what was probably happening. Lily likely always gets interrupted by May like this when trying to leave on time. Oops, are you leaving? You haven't finished your work yet. That's the way incompetents are, just like you. Well, Lily stammered, so I stepped forward. She still has a few days until the deadline. We can finish it within regular hours tomorrow or the day after, so I don't see the benefit of staying late today. Ha, are you trying to teach me what to do? Do you know who I am? Yes, you are the daughter of the president of this company. Then you should be aware of overtime pay, right? For the sake of your company, reducing unnecessary overtime is more beneficial. Forcing Lily to work overtime means your company is wasting resources. Do you understand? May probably couldn't find any answer to counter my argument. Despite appearing unsatisfied, she walked out. After May left, Lily sighed deeply in relief. Thanks, Thomas. You saved me several times today. Never mind. May is awful, isn't she? She shouldn't be allowed to be selfish just because she is the daughter of the president. She's untouchable. Everyone just turns a blind eye. We don't want to get on her bad side. Probably everyone in the department is careful not to draw May's attention. That's why I tried to gently stop you when you first spoke of May. If you get involved too, Thomas, don't worry. I've dealt with many difficult personalities in my past. But watch your back. May has numerous negative rumors, and HR just follows whatever she instructs. She will not hesitate to demote you if you upset her, especially considering you are new here. Oh, really? Well, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I can't just watch you suffer. Lily began to regain her energy. Since the day I started blocking May from intentionally overloading her with tasks, she replaced her glasses with contact lenses, and her makeup became more vibrant as she started paying extra attention to enhance her beauty. Additionally, she dyed her hair and proudly showcased her newly polished nails. The dark circles under her eyes began to fade slowly. Lily was regaining her old charm. As long as May stopped harassing Lily, hopefully, Lily will get back to her old self, I thought. But I was wrong. May struck back at the morning toolbox assembly. Suddenly, May said, "Lily, come to the front." May unexpectedly instructed Lily to step forward in front of all the employees. Lily had no choice but to follow her instruction. What's going on here now? The employees began to murmur. Silence, please, May said in an ice-cold tone, and the office fell silent. She then began to speak. Our company is now focusing on business expansion outside the States. In connection, we've been opening our branches abroad, and many employees have been assigned to those locations. Consequently, we need to speak a second language to deal with our prospective clients in the set locations, right? Her point made sense. But how does that lead to calling Lily out in front of all the employees? May continued. Give us a speech in French, Lily, she instructed. The office buzzed again. The idea that just because of the increasing volume of worldwide trading, one should give an impromptu French speech was absurd. Without any prior notice or practice, this was clearly unreasonable and obviously a targeted humiliation of Lily. We do business in France. You should be able to handle this much, right? Unable to refute, Lily stepped forward, looking frightened. Lily has good French skills required for the business transactions, but she had one fatal flaw: extreme stage fright. Her lips were trembling. She was likely experiencing a mental block when suddenly put on the spot. Seeing Lily unable to speak, May snorted dismissively. Do you know this girl only graduated high school? At those words, Lily visibly shook. Well, there's nothing wrong with being a high school graduate. The company prides itself on having staffed individuals with degrees from the best universities. It's nothing short of humiliation to make fun of and look down on her just because she is a high school graduate. Then I understood the root cause of May's persistent harassment. She was prejudiced against those with a lower educational background. For the company, a high school graduate who cannot finish work on time is considered an issue. Everyone here holds either bachelor's or master's degrees. Moreover, you're the only one who can't give a speech in a second language. Are you aware of this, Lily? Go ahead, try. If you fail, you're demoted. Lily clenched her lips. Lily seemed terribly cornered by May's challenge, tears welling up in her eyes. Impulsively, I stepped forward. Then I looked straight at May and said, "This is wrong." What? Indeed, speaking a second language is an indispensable skill for smooth transactions with our clients. However, there are other ways to enhance such skills. Do you really want to put Lily on blast? Oh dear, how touching. The bottom feeders are sticking up for each other. I forgot, but you probably can't speak it either. Why do you say so? Do you only have a high school diploma, or at best, a Mickey Mouse degree? You speak French, huh? That's impossible. I frowned. How come she is so presumptuous? If I speak French, what will you do for me? Oh, fine. If you pull it off, I'll give up my position to you. But if you fail, I'll demote you alongside Lily. Keep your word, I responded to May in French. What? My fluent French made May uneasy and upset. The employees murmured in surprise as they learned that my French proficiency was at an advanced level comparable to that of a native speaker. Gee, why? May panicked. You didn't review my resume, did you? I have a bachelor's degree from the Université PSL in France. While other employees seemed to understand my French, a kind of surprise appeared on their faces upon learning about my educational background. Having spent my college years in Europe and worked there for 10 years, French had become like a second native language to me. But I haven't publicly proclaimed that I have a bachelor's degree from the Université PSL. When I mention it, I often receive sarcastic comments about being pretentious or being praised for being an elite. That's why I became evasive when asked about my educational background due to these circumstances. I had a hard time warming up to my colleagues in this company. In the midst of that, Lily reached out to me. Even though Lily knew about my educational background, she genuinely respected it and asked me to teach her French. She started learning French once she heard the company was planning to expand the business to Europe, but was struggling to improve alone. How happy I was that she reached out and relied on me when I was feeling isolated. It made me feel that someone needed me, saving me from loneliness. Gradually, I started spending more time with her and developed feelings. My feelings grow by the day. She's definitely shy. She might not be able to speak well in a situation like this, but she's a driven person, bound to succeed. Now, she speaks better Japanese than anyone else in this department. I know she can make the most accurate and meticulous Japanese text documents among us. Looking down at someone based on their education isn't right. Her extensive effort and enthusiasm toward her work should be acknowledged and duly praised. I uttered all this in French. When I spoke that fluently, a round of applause erupted from within the company. Given the company's focus on worldwide trading, it seemed that all the employees could understand my French. What? What is this? Meanwhile, May, who had been all talk, seemed to understand nothing. Seeing her as the only one out of the loop was somehow satisfying. Lily and I exchanged a smile. I then wrapped up the toolbox meeting by saying, "That's it. Thank you all for your time." Thomas, the president, put a grim look on his face as he learned what had happened. Hearing the applause for my speech, the president approached us to inquire what happened. Afterward, Lily and I headed to the president's office and explained the situation to him. Lily was able to report to the president that she was being harassed by May, habitually given unreasonable tasks. For Lily, my speech may have served as her security blanket, making her feel protected and assured. May boasted a lot, but she isn't proficient in French. I'm not saying she cannot understand French, but her skill isn't good enough for a business setup. Consequently, the documents May prepared for the French-speaking clients often returned for review, and Lily had been the one correcting them. I responded to the president's words, "It's all true, Mr. President." "That's a lie. I fixed them myself." "No, there's never been a single time when my document was returned for being inadequate." May clung to the president, trying to save her pride. However, the truth never tells a lie. Indeed, May didn't understand the morning speech. Furthermore, the original documents she asked Lily to review are clear evidence of who is telling the truth. Startled, May reacted to being called. "You've been quite dismissive of him, but let me tell you, Thomas is a former branch manager of our Europe office." "What?" May froze. A branch manager is a position higher than a director, meaning I held a more prestigious position than May until I returned to the headquarters. At his age? How was that possible? "You've been getting by and being shrewd, but your time is up. You can't grow as long as you keep pushing your mistakes onto others and acting as if those mistakes never happened. You need to learn from your own mistakes, reflect on your actions if you want to be my successor." May's lips quivered. Either she was stunned by the career of the person she had been belittling or felt inferior to a genuine elite unlike herself. You've been getting by and being shrewd, but your time is up. You can't grow as long as you blame your mistakes on others and act as if those mistakes never happened. You need to learn from your own mistakes and reflect on your actions if you want to be my successor. But I've been desperately trying to succeed you, Dad. Perhaps May felt the pressure of needing to be the most capable successor. Maybe she was raised to be the business successor, knowing everyone is expecting and at the same time pressuring her to obtain a high-level education. So, even though she wants to ask someone, she can't do it because her pride doesn't permit her to do so. On the other hand, her mindset and attitude go in the wrong direction just to maintain her high status, and perhaps as her father, the president understands the inner struggles of May. The president says, if you have the ambition, that it's just a matter of approach. Step down from your director position. I won't fire you. Try doing things your own way from now on. I understand. May's voice was tearful. Being directly confronted with her mistakes must have been incredibly frustrating for her, but seeing May accept the president's words, I felt she might grow significantly from this point on. After that speech, I gained the employees' trust and was appointed as a department director at the headquarters. In the end, I took over the position of May, though I'm not sure if she still remembers she bet her position. I was once a Europe branch manager, but here at the headquarters, there are so many competitors. Being appointed as the director is truly a privilege for me. Climbing to the top of the corporate ladder requires further career development at the headquarters. Meanwhile, Lily assumed the position of assistant to the director. In other words, she took on a role that would help me with my work. The president appreciated the accuracy of the French documents and the serious approach to work that I exhibited. Afterward, although May lost her position, the president's reprimand seemed to have sparked a change in her. She started seriously learning French and management. The previous arrogance was nowhere to be seen. Now, she might even be called one of the most diligent employees in the headquarters. May came to me with her documents. Excuse me, Thomas, could you check if there's anything wrong with this document? Let's see. Perhaps due to her serious study, the French text document was much more readable than before. She must be very smart. Probably she didn't seriously tackle learning a second language before. I can assure her French skills will soon reach a practical level. Every time I check documents or explain things to May, Lily glares at us. I've never seen such an expression on her, so I'm taken aback. What's up, Lily? It's nothing. Lily, why are you so formal? Lily? Well, if you're going to be like that, maybe I should take on your role. No, you can't. I won't give it up now. Lily expresses herself and speaks her mind clearly, even to May. Perhaps she gains confidence from being promoted. This is a significant advancement for the once timid Lily. Soon, she'll likely be able to speak French confidently in negotiations too. Seeing May start to take her studies seriously, it seems the rest of the employees are also more motivated to learn French. The working environment in the department is much better now, and work is going more smoothly. A healthy workplace has something to do with good performance. This department, once dominated by autocracy, is now working well together with employees growing rapidly. There were times I wasn't sure of my future in this company, especially when I felt isolated due to my educational background, but this atmosphere of ambition isn't bad.